Hello guys, Ryan Ho back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro. And this is kind of a clone of the Apple AirPods shape. So they fit very well because Apple AirPods obviously fit really well in other people's ears as well. So this has a very similar shape, but the price is at $70. And I think it's on sale now for like 20% off. So it's really like $56. And at that price, it's very comfortable. It has LDAC, so it has the ability to transfer kind of high-res Bluetooth. It also has noise canceling, it has transparency mode, and yeah, it has all the basic features, and it also has a built-in microphone, so you can also use that to talk as well. This really is a budget product that really has all the features down, and to boot, the sound does actually sound really good. Though this is a little bit more of a bassy boy, so, more consumer oriented. So yeah, let's talk about this in more detail. All right, so let's unbox the Capsule 3 Pro by Soundpeats. All right, got it open. Inside, have the Soundpeats case. And yeah, I have them opened up and they look like AirPods. So it comes with additional size tips, but it looks like the medium size are pre-installed. You have a small little USB-C cable, and of course the case that it comes with. All right, so taking a closer look at the product, you actually see the Bluetooth button right here in the bottom. It's very kind of faint, but that's where it is. And then here we have the actual buds, right? So the shape of this is very close to AirPods Pro. As you can tell, they both have the kind of look and the stem, very similar. The actual feeling in your ears a little different. The AirPods Pro is a little heavier, and it has this like finish that feels like it sticks more into your ear. That makes any sense? Like it sticks better to your skin, I should say. Versus this one is a kind of a matte finish, but they both stay in my ear. But I do feel like the AirPods Pro stick better in my ear and doesn't really move, while this one slightly moves a little bit. But the shape is very similar, so they're both very comfortable. The difference also is that the touch buttons for this one is simply tap on the right side, increases the volume, tap on the left side, it decreases the volume. You could double tap to play and stop, and you can hold it to kind of change to your different modes. So like your transparency mode, your ANC mode, and your just normal mode. Versus the AirPods, obviously you can kind of go up and down to change volumes, and you can hold it to press play, and then you can hold it down to change to transparency mode and stuff like that. So button layout is a little bit different, but they do the same things essentially. So you download the app, you can kind of see the characteristics, right? Now we can go to the EQ settings. So we have volume control, then they have adaptive EQ, which they say is still in the testing phase, so I guess that's not really available. Then they have different equalization. So I have custom EQ, but I didn't really change anything. But essentially they have different presets. So the Soundpeats Classic, like the Classic already sounds very bassy. So I would say if you do the bass reduction mode, it's more of that like balance type of mode. Classic is already bass boost. Bass boost is just like super bass boost. I don't even know what fashionable is. Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. Electronic seems like a V-shaped type of sound. And yeah, I mean, personally, I would probably just use bass reduction or Soundpeats Classic. Those two seem to be the best. If you don't like that much bass, then yeah, bass reduction will make it sound more flatter. Now moving down, we have the different modes, right? So you can have it on ANC, normal, and transparency mode. So I tested these modes out, and then I compared them to the AirPods Pro. Once again, obviously this is like 4 times more expensive, so it's not really a fair comparison. But something I noticed was the ANC mode is actually okay. It works. The ANC mode on the AirPods Pro is kind of cracked. Like it silences a lot more. You can hear like a little bit of that like ANC type of noise. It's not really anything too noticeable, but you can hear that. And then in the normal mode, it's just normal. The transparency mode, you can kind of hear a little bit of like the microphone like noise floor, versus like on the AirPods Pro, you literally can't hear anything. Obviously, this is like the gold standard, but you can hear a little bit of that in this. But this is like 70 with discounts, like $56, right? So it's a much cheaper product. The modes actually work and they're decent. I've actually tested other things around this price point. think it was the AKG NC400, and honestly, those features are actually trash. This one's actually usable, so that's actually good to hear. All right, so let's talk about sound. So the Soundpeats have a kind of a sound that's more bassy for sure. Definitely has a little bit more low end punch than the AirPods Pro. So the bass is actually a little bit more enhanced. I would say it's more closer to like maybe even higher than normal Harman target. So it's very boosted, but it never sounds like uncontrollable. It still sounds very detailed, very good, and I don't really hear it like bleed into the mid range or anything. And the interesting part, or the thing that kind of impressed me, is that the amount of bass that you can feel, it has like good like physicality of like you can feel the shaking, the rumblingness of it, but it never seems to kind of intrude on the vocals or anything. They seem to be like almost separate, and they seem to be very kind of almost like they're being played at the same time, but they're not never like muddying up the rest of the sound, if that makes any sense. Like they're very distinct, which I found really good. So the tuning that they have on this works really, really well in my opinion. Obviously, this thing has EQ, so you could turn on their bass reduction mode, and when you put it on that mode, honestly, it sounds very close to the AirPods Pro. In that sense, the AirPods Pro definitely has a little bit of bass boost, but not as much as these do. Now, the other thing is the treble region of this was very well controlled, and I never really noticed anything sharp with it, so it's very good, well tuning. The AirPods Pro actually sound slightly sharper than this one. It's very small difference, but I definitely hear it a little bit. And then kind of both the mid-range of these are really equal. Like you can hear the vocals, the mid-range is very present, very good, and it never sounds too kind of boomy or anything like that, right? From kind of the muddy bass. There's a little bit, just a tiny bit of what people call warmth, but like there's kind of more thickness to the male vocalist on this one a little bit, which is kind of to be expected, I guess, because this one has a little bit more of that like low end kind of boost. Now, really for the detail, I would say these are, you know, the AirPods Pro is slightly more detailed, but they're 4 times more expensive, so I would hope they're more detailed. And these honestly sound really good for the price. Like I said, these are $70 with, you know, the sale is only 56. So for at that price, like I really do think they're actually worth it. They sound pretty good. And honestly, I've heard a lot of stuff that, you know, have really cheap drivers, and this one doesn't really sound like it has that like kind of cheap driver type of sound to it. Actually sounds really good. So do I recommend the Capsule 3 Pro? I definitely do. So I think if you don't want to spend too much money, for $56, it has all the features covered, and it also sounds good. And I really do think that it's a good product if you just didn't want to spend too much cash on an earbud. Anyways, please like and subscribe down below. Helps my videos out. I make a lot of audio reviews here all the time, as well as other kind of tech stuff, so you don't want to miss out on that. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.